What's up, everybody? This is Ross Clot 222, aka Excalibur, my own boxing community, the MOBC. Before I start this video, if you want more information on Willie Pep, please go to my good brother's YouTube channel, and that is the boxing Hardline Boxing Talk. Hardline Boxing Talk. All capital letters, or you could type in Willie Pep career and it will give you a whole breakdown on Willie Pep's career. You will get the whole breakdown on Willie Pep's career. Okay? Because if you want the full breakdown of Willie Pep's career, go to that page. Now, this is embarrassing, and I want to address this now because I've been listening to YouTube videos, and I even went back to past videos, fights before the Lomachenko and Haney, fights before Lomachenko and Teofimo Lopez, and I noticed there's a pattern, even with the Salido fight, when Loma got beat up and battered by Salido, who I believe had like 10 losses or something at the time. I'm not sure. But Salido, right, beat the crap out of Lomachenko. And I see 3 times now, because out of 20 fights, Lomachenko has lost 3 of them. The same group of people with the same exact excuses. I mean, it's mind-boggling. Lomachenko's too small. Lomachenko's really not in that weight class. Now, I don't remember them saying that too much about the Salido fight, because I believe that was at featherweight. But I do remember people saying that Salido might have been heavier or something. I'm not sure. But I know people were saying that's his second pro fight, and, he's the only person to win a title fight in his 3rd pro fight. Now keep in mind, let me get to that for a second. Keep in mind, the World Series boxing tournament technically can be counted as pro. You fight with no headgear, and they use the 10-point point system per round. And these guys are at professional level. We're talking about Lomachenko, who did fight, was a way past grown man, fighting 18 and 19-year-olds when he already had 1 gold in the Olympics. But anyway, in the World Series boxing tournament, it can be considered professional fights. But that's a whole nother topic. But I'm seeing the same excuses. Again, you got it for the Teofimo Lopez fight. Teofimo Lopez fight, yes, it was close. But he didn't do enough to win. You can't win a fight that's scored 12-round fights. That's scored but in a 12-round fight. You can't score the winner of the fight by winning the later rounds. And not even the second half. Literally just winning 8, 9, and 10 and 11. It's a 12-round fight. You gotta fight the first round all the way to the 12th round. And we keep getting these same excuses over and over again. Robbery. It's a robbery. He's too small. He's little. He's a robbery. He fought at lightweight in the World Series boxing tournament. So when he turned pro and he was fighting at featherweight, technically he was the big man. I remember there was a time where Nicholas Walters fought Donaire, which was a great fight. I suggest you guys go see it. Watch it if you haven't seen it. Donaire was undersized. He was too small and never fought in that weight class. And every single Donaire fanboy defended that loss. Did not want to give Nicholas Walters any credit for that win. Didn't want to give him any credit for that win. None. Yet, when Lomachenko fought undersized Rigondeaux, and Rigondeaux fanboys was giving the same excuses for Donaire, you guys fought hard for Lomachenko. You guys, as a matter of fact, you guys were saying it was an ATG win. When Rigondeaux's best win is versus Donaire. Great win, by the way. But Rigondeaux literally did not fight like 4 other fighters in the bantamweight division. Or super bantamweight, whatever. I can't remember. He literally avoided like 3 fights. But you guys, Lomachenko fans, say it's an ATG win. I mean, there has to be, you guys got to have standards. You guys don't have any standards. You're so biased and so hung up on Lomachenko being this greatest fighter that you ever seen and his moves that you never seen before. And it's like you guys just forget that there was a string of defensive fighters, string of great boxers before Lomachenko, doing things that Lomachenko is doing now, done before him. You guys talk about how great Lomachenko's supposed to be, the Matrix, but he didn't know what to do against Salido, who was fighting dirty. He's supposed to have been in the greatest amateur of all time, right? The amateurs is where you experience damn near every style. And I'm sure in the amateurs, Lomachenko has ran into dirty fighters. And you mean to tell me against Salido, he didn't know what to do? Somebody hit me in my balls, I'm hitting them in their balls too. If I'm boxing and you want to throw an elbow at me, I'm throwing the elbow too. Hit me with a forearm, I'm throwing a forearm too. You headbutt me, I'm headbutting you too. You bite me, I'm biting you too. It's not our fault that Lomachenko just wasn't good enough for Salido. Then you guys say, oh, he became a champion. The greatest champion. 3rd fight. He fought against Gary Russell Jr. And then in the same breath, you guys downplay Gary Russell Jr.'s skills. First, you give him his props. Then you just talk bad about Gary Russell. So which one is it? Because I'm really confused. I'm genuinely confused at what you guys say because so many contradictions. 17-3 does not tell me that this is an ATG. 17-3, 2 failed attempts at undisputed does not tell me that this is an ATG. I don't understand. Richard Comey? Is that an ATG win? Pedraza? Is that an ATG win? Nakatani? Are those ATG wins? I'm freestyling, so Jorge Linares, you can make an argument, is the best win on his resume. I personally think it could be Gary Russell, but I'll go with Linares just because, the long reigning champion and so on and so forth. He was way past his prime, though. Put Lomachenko on his butt. But when he beat him, it's an ATG win. I mean, we got Krolla, Nakatani, Kome. I can't even remember the guy he fought before Haney. I think it was some Latin guy, and I can't remember. Or Ortiz. His name was Ortiz. Those are the names. Here we have, right here, we have 229 wins, 65 KOs, 11 defeats, and only 6 by KO. That is a record that is unmatched by any fighter today. And it's embarrassing when you think of the names: Chalky Wright, Sandler. I'm trying to think of some of these names. Chalky Wright, Sander, Lefty something, I forgot his name. These are fighters. These guys have resumes way better than the guys that Lomachenko fought. Just by looking at my man Willie Pep went 79 wins straight before his first loss. And you got a guy in the backstage crying like his cat fell out of the tree, and the fire department was running late because they couldn't get to his cat. So he was in the back, he was crying. 2 failed attempts at undisputed. 20 fights, 17 wins, 3 losses. That is not an ATG. My man Lomachenko was crying to the Cormier's corner, to the referee, begging for a stoppage. He was begging for a stoppage because the mystique of Lomachenko was fading. And that fight went to distance. Because he was trying to get him a stoppage. Because this is not an ATG. Is he skilled? Yes. Is he a talented fighter? Yes. Did he wait too long to turn pro? I don't know. Maybe. But don't sit there and tell me that fighters in the past like Willie Pep, you guys say fighters like Willie Pep, Sugar Ray Robinson, Greb, Langford is fighting bums. You guys are saying, they're fighting bums back then. Joe Louis was fighting bums. Bum of the month. Joe Louis fighting bums. How do you know? Because in the same breath you say, we know that these fighters in the past are great when you haven't seen much footage? When you guys are just going by articles that you read. Well, then how do you know that they're bums if you haven't seen any footage? Got your little draws, got your little wedgie all stuck up your little tight butt just because Lomachenko was in the backstage crying at his second failed attempt. Let's not forget, this dude took the franchise belt, the weakest belt ever made in boxing. Willie Pep got 229 wins. He has more knockouts than Lomachenko's whole professional career. So when you want to talk about ATGs, don't ever put no ATG 20 fights, 3 losses, 2 failed attempts at undisputed. Because Lomachenko is no ATG. Is he a great fighter? Yeah. You can make, yeah. He's a good fighter. But there's nothing special about him. Until you fighting past 50 fights, then you come talk to the MOBC. Until you start fighting more and adding more former world champions, top-rated fighters or whatever on your resume, then you come talk to the MOBC. I'm no boxing historian. I'm none of that. But I respect boxing.